idling time on admiring the scenery, the spectacled snake-bedecked docs doing surgery. Hello, you busy bees, and what do you have to discuss with the funeral director today? Actually, don't tell me. Let me guess. From the looks on your faces, you've got some questions for me.
Guilty as charged. So, we were just a little curious about Baiju's master. What was he like? Oh, and also, how come you and Baiju could tell so quickly that Jia Liang had god remains in his system?
Huh? I thought I told you once before. Wangsheng Funeral Parlor was first founded to fight back against the vengeful wrath of gods defeated in war. Well, it is a dusty old tale by this point. Long story short, in the ancient world, dead gods were acting up, so our ancestors started purifying the air and burning the bodies of the deceased to guard the border between life and death. These days, we don't deal with the wrath of the gods anymore, but all the relevant know-how is still passed down to each generation, so we can identify gods' remains when we see them.
Okay, Paimon gets it now. Wait, so how did Baiju learn to spot them?
Almost certainly from his master, who was also my great-uncle. Baiju's master was my grandpa's younger brother, a former deputy director of Wangsheng Funeral Parlor.
Wow, fancy that! Huh. So, if he was from Wangsheng Funeral Parlor, how did he end up as Baiju's master?
According to my grandpa, he and my great-uncle once went traveling together when they were young. They ended up at Chenyu Vale, where they met a pharmacist. That pharmacist must have cast some sort of spell on my great-uncle, because after that encounter, he suddenly announced he wanted to leave the family business and go practice medicine instead. My grandpa had a huge argument with him, but he couldn't convince him to stay. So my grandpa inherited the funeral parlor, while my great-uncle stayed in Chenyu Vale to practice medicine. They never spoke to each other again.
Funeral director to doctor is a pretty big career change. Kinda hard to imagine. But why did it drive a wedge between them for the rest of their lives? That seems a bit extreme.
If he had just become a regular doctor, there would have been no issue. After all, the Wangsheng Funeral Parlor wasn't unlike a regular doctor's clinic in the early days. But according to my grandpa, the pharmacist they met had a very ominous aura about him. And on top of that, the kind of medicine practiced in the Chenyu Vale tradition goes against the natural order of things.
In what way?
don't know. My grandpa didn't know the specifics. And you've seen how wary Baiju is around me. He'd never tell me anything. But even that says to me that he definitely has something to hide. One thing I do know about Baiju is that he's obsessed with the idea of immortality. But whether that has anything to do with what he's hiding is hard to say. Anyway, so I will be sticking around here for now to keep a close eye on the situation. Maybe tomorrow I'll finally figure out what he's up to.
After all that, it seems like we have more questions than answers.
Oh, while you're here, have either of you seen Chi-Chi around? It's not every day I get to infiltrate Baiju's lair, but alas, I didn't catch a single glimpse of her anywhere. Aha! What if Baiju knew I'd be on the lookout for her and hid her away in advance?
It's a new day! Let's go back to Boo Boo Pharmacy and check out how Jialiang is doing.
Try and stop me!
Look, it's Hu Tao! She looks kind of troubled. Shall we go say hi? Hey! Stop right there, heroes! What the? Oh, Xiangling! I was just kidding around. Happy Lantern Rite. Hope I didn't scare ya. Nah, of course not. We were just about to go say hi to Hu Tao. I noticed, which is why I stopped you. We can't disturb her now or we won't get to see the brand spanking new Director Who. Well, I gave her a new outfit as a gift, but she's so used to her uniform that she's hesitant to try it on. Ooh, what kind of outfit is it? A bright red one, of course. The color of prosperity and the color of Lantern Rite. But just so you're aware, Hu Tao's not really been herself lately. Whenever I invite her to hang out, she either finds an excuse not to come or spends the whole time staring into space. I've tried asking her what's wrong, but she won't even admit there's a problem. Anyway, so that outfit was my way of saying that I'm here as her friend, and I hope she'll feel better soon. Paimon was just thinking that she looked kind of troubled. to me and Liyue looking for a change of scenery and fresh inspiration. We got talking and really hit it off, so it was no trouble at all. Oh, stop! I'm just glad you like it. Your voice is as sweet as ever, Hu Tao, but we're your friends. You can't hide how you're feeling from us, no matter how hard you may try. Work-related? You mean the funeral parlor? You stressing about work? That's gotta be a first. Guess it must be something super complicated, huh? Huh? You think Kuching would be able to help? Good idea! Especially since it's festival season. I heard the Ministry of Civil Affairs is putting on a street fair with loads of cool stuff to do. Forget about work for now, Hu Tao. Come have fun with us. Yeah, take some time to relax and recover your energy. Then you'll knock this thing out in no time. Aw, really? You sure you can't get out of it? Okay, fair enough. But don't take too long. And after the fair, how about we all have a meal at Wanmin Restaurant? My treat, of course. Me neither! Paimon's drooling already.
Take me up!
I take it these coins go inside the envelope? They look a little different from regular Mora. The sign of Vice Ravana! Yes, originally an exorcism sigil, widely used in thaumaturgy. These days, it's used as a lucky charm to prevent disaster and bring favor. Quite popular with business owners, hoping for peace and prosperity. Oh, I interrupted you, didn't I? Oh, sorry. I just got a little carried away. I meant no offense, Lady Yuhang. You flatter me, Lady Yuhang. My family are but distant relatives. We would hardly consider ourselves the true heirs to that illustrious lineage. Well, I won't deny that I pride myself on my level of learning. So by all means, it would be my pleasure to assist the Lady Yuhang.
Ka-ching! Hard hard at work with the festivities as usual, huh? Wow, nice to meet you, Madam Lan.
The Traveler, his buddy Paimon, and Xiangling. Hello! Oh, sorry. Interrupted again, didn't I? Oh. It's just quite exciting. Meeting these 3 people I've heard so much about. I never imagined I'd get the chance.
I think you mean 2 people, right? I'm just a chef. A good one, but it's not that much to get excited about. You don't need to include me just to be polite.
Oh, I beg to differ. The first meal I ate in Liyue Harbor was at Wanmin Restaurant. Xiangling's cooking gave my taste buds plenty to be excited about. Please, call me Lanyan. And I'm no master craftswoman. Just a humble maker of handicrafts.
Rev the engines!
Sounds amazing! But what are the 8 adepts? Are they like adepti? Wow, Paimon's never heard that story before. Shaped like a huge tree, right? Oh, I think I heard that one from a storyteller once. The sanctification of Tao Du. So Tao Du is the giant tree?
Even today, in my hometown, people still say things like, "You'll never cross Mount Taodu when you die." It's very insulting, though, so don't go around repeating it.
Oh no! And then what?
That's where the sanctification of Tao Du comes in. The 8 adepts rose up to solve the crisis and laid down a great magic array to purify Tao Du.
Wait! The border? The border between life and death? That's where it comes from?
So the legends say, but who knows if it's true?
Those 8 adepts must be super powerful if they could purify a god. Are we sure they weren't just adepti?
Yep. And in fact, their tale specifically emphasizes that most of them were ordinary humans.
If I remember right, they were from several groups that joined forces. A Gui Qiang one, a Lian Xiang one, and...
Right, The 3 hermits of Guizhang, the 2 sages of Lianshan, and the 3 beasts of Taodu. Collectively, the 8 adepts. The mainstream narrative holds that the Guizhang hermits and the Lianshan sages were human. That's certainly what the clan genealogies claim, although my personal knowledge of Chiman divination is very patchy.
Seriously? Did Shinsho tell you that? Because it sounds like something right out of a martial arts novel. So what about the 3rd hermit?
So it's true? The Wangsheng funeral parlor really does have a secret art?
I heard from Hu Tao that she has a flaming staff handed down by her forebears. Apparently it has special powers used for cleansing rituals. But it could just be another one of her tall tales. Oh, you probably haven't met Hu Tao yet, have you? She's the director at the funeral parlor.
I've never had the pleasure, but I've certainly heard of Director Hu Tao.
Okay, well, these Guizhang hermits sound pretty legit. How about the 2 sages and the 3 beasts? What's their story?
I heard there's a hidden palace deep in the mountains south of the Stone Gate. Traditionally, that's believed to be where they retreated for cultivation.
So, what were they? Monsters or something? Huh? All 3 of them? Oh, right, Ganyu's here. Okay. Of course not. Aw, what? Not you too? Seems like everyone's busy with work. The traveler's being especially nice today, checking in on everyone's well-being. Well, what other option does he have? It's not like he can drag them away from their desks and force them to have fun against their will.
I actually have something I need to do as well, so I should get to the Wangsheng funeral parlor.
Oh, are you looking for Hu Tao?
She's supposed to meet us here so we can grab lunch. Why don't you come with? If you don't mind the extra company, of course. Not at all. I'd love to. What a nice surprise. Perfect! Wu-Tao should have joined us here by now. I guess her meeting overran. Why don't we head to the funeral parlor?
Okay, let's go!
Lady Yu-Hong said they're fortune coins. Go on, give them a rub. It'll bring you good luck.
Are these lanterns?
No, they're toys that shoot fireworks. New to this year's festival. You should try them, Paimon.
Whoa, it's beautiful!
Rev the engines!
Exactly. Since this has come at such a festive time, I'd rather keep things low-key to avoid disturbing the celebrations. Sure, but let's stick with something small. His lordship has never been a fan of ostentation. It sounds perfect. You think of everything, Director Hu. Yes. His lordship had one made 2 years ago, in fact. He sourced an excellent block of gloomwood and had an artisan convert it into a casket. It's currently being stored at the old family house at Yilong Wharf. It's like you read my mind. Master expressed the same concern, but he also said he has full confidence in the Wangshang Funeral Parlor's judgment in this area. That sounds ideal. Oh, and we should put some rugs down. Make them tortoiseshell. His lordship is very fond of that color. Master requested no music procession, but 16 pallbearers. Nothing flashy. Plain clothes will do, as long as they're smart and all dressed the same. Open sedan chair, please, with 4 pairs of white plaques and 20 pairs of red plaques. Yes, 2 sets of gold weaponry and 2 sets of soul banners, 4 items per set. That will do nicely. For the hanging banner, we want an octagonal tube with 8 tassels per corner and a dome of red gauze covering the top. As for the portrait pavilion, we're looking to do 1 incense pavilion with 2 spare rooms. One is a changing room, the other is a display room, and we'd like a plain white cover over the whole thing. Ah, I knew I missed something. The family neglected to consider that in their sorrow, but it's a minor detail. What would your suggestion be? Excellent! I must say, Director Who, you really understand your clients.
Greetings, Director Who. Lady Ningguang has arrived, and she would be most grateful if you could join her at Yujing Terrace.
Of course. I've taken plenty of your time already. Don't let me keep you.
Of course, Director. I'll handle it.
The Who family is truly blessed. It seems their directors go from strength to strength with each generation.
I agree. She was born for the job.
Ah, yes, Madam Undertaker. I didn't get the chance to discuss payment with the director.
There's no rush. I gathered from your conversation that the situation is still unfolding. This was just an initial meeting, so that we can make advanced preparations, yes?
That's right. Master asked me to come a few days ahead of time so that things aren't rushed at the last minute. On that note, please do keep everything strictly confidential for now. No public announcements.
Of course. You have my word.
Thanks. Could I trouble you for a pro forma invoice? Easier for the family to review that way.
I'll get that to you in due course. Oh, hello. Can I help you?
Hey, Fairy! We're looking for Hu Tao. Is she here?
You just missed her, unfortunately. She's attending a meeting elsewhere.
Oh. Any idea when she'll be back?
She didn't say, but she only left a moment ago. She could be some time. If it's anything urgent, I'd be happy to take a message for you and I'll relay it to her as soon as she returns.
Oh, no, it's nothing urgent.
If you'd prefer to speak with her directly, you can always wait till she's free.
Well, this sucks. Paimon thought Hu Tao would be done with work by now.
I guess she's got more on her plate than we realized. Well, there's not much point in hanging around here. Why don't we go eat and come back later?
Paimon is getting a little hungry. But shouldn't we wait for Hu Tao? sounded like she's gonna be a while. Besides, I can always fire up the stove again once she's back. Okay, sounds good. Madame Lan, you must be getting hungry too, right? You should come with us.
Madame Lan? Oh, sorry. I spaced out. Whatever works for you.
Alright, Fairy, we'll head off then. Can you let Hu Tao know where we are when she gets back?
Sure. Take care, everyone. Butler Anne?
Ma'am, do you happen to know who that young lady with the black hair is?
I haven't met her before, but that silver swallow hairpiece makes me wonder if she's from Chenyu Vale.
Chenyu Vale,
Something the matter?
Well, it's just... So the other day, when I was out shopping, I ran into her and Master. They were chatting away, and I noticed that she showed him a very peculiar-looking rattan figure. Later that day, as I was moving his lordship to a more comfortable bedroom, I saw something underneath his bed. And would you know it, it was that same rattan figure. There was some kind of spell written on it. It was icy cold to the touch and made the whole room chilly. The whole thing seems very sinister.
Oh my goodness. Are you suggesting that there could be unnatural causes behind his lordship's condition? Well, I've heard they practice Chi-Men magic in Chenyu Vale. Pendhead fortune conveyance, fate transference, and the like.
The last thing I want to do is start suspecting anyone, but... with his lordship bedridden and Master urging me to start discussing funeral arrangements, I can't help but think. Sorry. Look at me rambling away. I'm sure I'm just being paranoid. Please forget I said anything, and certainly don't repeat this to anyone else.
Don't worry, Butler Anne. The Wangsheng Funeral Parlor understands the importance of discretion. Client confidentiality is paramount.
Try and stop me!
Dad!
Oh, are you?
Dad, you remember me!
Yes, I remember now. Oh, I'm so sorry. You must have been worried sick. Has your mom shown up yet? She's been gone for a while, hasn't she?
Don't worry, Dad. I got the Adventurers Guild to help us look for her. And Dr. Baishu's gonna help too. Right now, all you need to do is concentrate on getting better.
Great. That's wonderful. I can't thank you enough, Dr. Baishu.
My pleasure, really. It's the least I can do to honor my late master's dying wish. If anything, I should be apologizing to you for not making the time to visit in all these years.
Not at all, Dr. Baishu. It's only because Jiang Li... What was her reason again?
You're still in the early stages of recovery, so you'll need to take it easy for a while. Take it slowly and try not to overexert yourself.
I suggest you stay at Boo Boo Pharmacy and rest for at least the next few days.
Director Hu, do you have any further reservations about Jia Liang's condition?
It seems like the evil presence is gone after all. You really did manage to suppress it, huh? But how did you accomplish this in a single night?
That would be a trade secret, I'm afraid. If that gives you any cause for concern, you may continue to monitor Jia Liang for as long as you wish. Though I regret to say that Boo Boo Pharmacy cannot offer to reimburse Wang Sheng Funeral Parlor for any revenue lost in the meantime.
Oh, come on, Baizhu. I'm not that unreasonable.
I've been stuck indoors for too long. Baizhu, take me outside for some air, or I'm going to suffocate.
Yes, of course. Everyone, please excuse Changsheng and myself for a moment.
Suffering now, are we? Did you seriously expect to cover it up just by putting on a brave face and ignoring it? If it weren't for my quick thinking, they'd have all seen the sorry state you're in by now. But in any case, why must you keep this a secret from everybody? You should at least share your secret with one person you trust.
Who's there?
Ah!
Why did you follow us here? Oh, it's nothing. I just needed to get some air.
What did I just say about putting on a brave face? Traveler, Paimon, the truth is, Baizhu did not cure Jialiang's illness. Instead, he transferred some of his own life force to his patient to temporarily subdue the poison in his system. Baizhu, can you please explain all of this?
My predecessors in medicine forged a contract with Changsheng. Every successor to this contract is able to use Changsheng's secret art to treat patients. I believe the irregularities with Jia Liang's heart meridian were likely caused by a poison concocted using god remains as a key ingredient. The poison has not been purged from Jia Liang's system. Rather, I infused him with some of my own life force, using Changsheng as the delivery medium. This will suppress the poison's effects for a limited time.
Changsheng? You can do that? Huh. Paimon always thought you were just Baizhu's strange choice of a necklace. Hey, I'll have you know that I commanded the respect of even the Adepti back in Chenyu Vale. If anything, he is my mannequin. I was treating patients with Baiju's master's master long before he ever set eyes on his first medical text. Whoa. Guess you shouldn't judge a snake by its skin.
Please, that's enough.
Wait a sec. Huto was saying that the branch of medicine you studied uses some pretty dubious methods. So, when you transfer your life force, does that mean you're actually damaging your own body?
Hardly. Jiangsheng helps to keep my chi in balance, so there is no great harm done.
Still, Baiju's life force is not unlimited. We must find a way to neutralize the poison in Jialiang's body. And soon. Traveler, Paimon, would you lend this dummy a hand? He needs someone checking up on him, or he'll exhaust himself trying to accomplish everything on his own. Baiju, don't you think you should seize this opportunity? You cannot expect to hide this from everyone for your entire life. Time will see that all secrets surface eventually.
Entire life. Thank you, Traveler and Paimon.
Paimon doesn't think we've seen this side of you, but there's no need to thank us. You've helped us out before.
The poison in Jialiang's system must have accumulated over a prolonged period. I think I should pay a visit to their family home and look for clues as to how he might have been exposed to it. Yes, I asked Ayu this morning before you arrived. He told me that his family lives in a secluded spot to the west of Qingsa village. Let's head there together once I've asked Gui and Chi-Chi to look after the pharmacy. As well as investigating Jia Liang's exposure to the poison, we should also keep an eye out for Ayu's missing mother, my fellow disciple Jiang Li.
Many insects have a compulsion to follow the light, and humans are the same. Except we call that light hope.
Whoa! There's a house all the way out here? Huh. It's so well hidden, Paimon's never noticed it before.
Nor have I. And I've hosted clinics at Qingsa village many times in the past. If you ask me, Jiang Li was trying to remain unnoticed.
Oh, that reminds Paimon. We meant to ask earlier, but it slipped our minds in the rush to get here. Could you tell us more about Jiang Li? You said she was your fellow disciple, right?
She was indeed. We studied medicine together under the same master near Chenyu Vale. She is several years older than I and also began her travels far earlier than me. As a result, the time I spent studying alongside her was rather short.
Supposedly, she met an herb gatherer sometime during her travels and decided to settle down with him. That must have been Jialiang. Wait, Changxiang, are you saying neither of you had actually met Jialiang or Ayu before all of this?
Jiang Li did occasionally come back to Chenyu Vale to see our master, but for whatever reason she hardly ever talked about her family. The last time she visited us, she and Master had some sort of quarrel. We never heard from her after that. It almost seemed as if she'd gone into hiding.
Quarrel? What happened? I don't know. I did not witness the argument myself.
Nor did Master ever explain it to me. All he would say is that should I ever encounter Jiang Li or her family in the future, I should do everything in my power to help them.
Oh, so that's why you went to such extreme lengths to help Jialiang.
No. Even if my master had never said anything, it would still be my duty as a doctor to help him. My decision would have remained the same.
Paimon never knew you were so selfless, Baizhu. Paimon always had you down as the sneaky, scheming type. Sorry.
So a few words from me is enough to dispel all your suspicions, You ought not be quite so quick to relax your guard, Paimon. Sometimes even the good guys have their own private agenda.
What the... Okay, that was the most suspicious-sounding thing you've ever said.
Let's leave the idle chatter there for now, Jiang Li has lived in this house for many years. There must be something here that can shed a little light on this whole situation. Let's split up. But if anyone finds anything, we'll examine it together.
How time flies. Jiang Li's had a son, and he's all grown up.
I wonder if Jiang Li's changed at all, after all these years.
Traveler, Paimon, come quick! What is this?
Changsheng and I found a hidden compartment. This is what was hidden inside.
You sense it too? You're right. This is a poison concocted using god remains. Is it breathing? Paimon's not seeing things, is she?
No, your eyes do not deceive you. I do believe the poison in this bottle is alive. Some toxins act a lot like living organisms. I read about this once in the Origins and Symptoms of Diseases. This ancient class of poisons consists of mother and minor loads, capable of sustaining a connection over vast distances. If it's a concoction of this kind we're dealing with, then both the poison in Jialiang's system and this one here are likely minor loads. Offshoots, essentially.
Offshoots? So, the main body is somewhere else?
Correct. Whoever is administering the poison can manipulate the source to indirectly control the poisoned individual's behavior and even cognition. Similarly, the poisoned individual will hear, to a varying extent, the call of the source.
The call of the... Wait, so back when Jia Liang ran off, maybe that explains where he was heading!
Only one thing could have been drawing him there. The source of the god remains used as the poison's key ingredient, the mother lode.
This is getting crazier and crazier. What kind of person would do all this just to poison Jia Liang? Hey, why has everyone gone quiet all of a sudden?
Since this poison was carefully hidden away in a secret compartment, the one who concocted it is likely a resident of the house.
You mean Jia Liang? Why would he poison himself?
Think a little harder, Paimon. Someone else who lives here, and who might have expertise in crafting drugs.
Huh? So you're saying... it was Jiang Li? Wait, but that doesn't make any sense either! Why would she poison her own husband?
I agree. It makes little sense. Jiang Li does not strike me as the kind of person who would do such a thing.
Look at the facts, though. How many people in the entirety of Liyue have the ability to concoct a poison from god remains?
It's too early to draw any conclusions. We should question Jia Liang about it once he has made more progress in his recovery. Yes. According to the origins and symptoms of diseases, the minor lodes will disappear if the mother lode is purged. So if we can find and destroy the source of these god remains, the poison will leave Jia Liang's system without the need for any further treatment. Do you know anything about god remains in Qingsa village?
Even the history books have no record of this. The only ones who'll know anything are those old fogies who have been hanging around here since the beginning of time.
Didn't you used to be on good terms with the Adepti, though? You sure they didn't tell you anything about this?
Well,
Changsheng's memories and powers are not what they were in her prime. These days, she has to enter a contract with a mortal and share their life force just to sustain her own life. I fear that such ancient events are long gone from her memory by now.
Whoa, what? After a contract? Share life force? Sounds like some pretty spooky sorcery if you ask Paimon.
hey! Plenty of people would jump at the chance to join forces with a powerful being like me. With my assistance in rebalancing your chi, not only can you extend your lifespan, but you will also be stronger, healthier, and able to eat whatever you like with no risk of upsetting your stomach.
Stronger and healthier? Wow, that's amazing! Baizhu, maybe when you retire, you can let Paimon sign a contract with Changsheng for a few days.
Unfortunately, Changsheng's contract has strict requirements regarding the host's temperament. None of her hosts have ever been exempted from these rules. I fear that I will be unable to accommodate your wishes, Paimon.
Temperament? Hey! What are you trying to say? Did you just subtly insult Paimon to her face? Ugh, Paimon's mad! You're getting ugly nicknames, both of you! Baizhu, you're Mannequin Man! Changsheng, you're just a pain in the neck!
This is exactly why your natural temperament makes you woefully unsuited to being my host.
All right, everybody, calm down. Back to the matter at hand. Is there any way at all for us to seek counsel from the Adepti about this?
With how antisocial they are, if it were up to them, they'd go their whole lives without showing their faces to the common folk. What?
Seems you're as well connected as they say, traveler. We are truly fortunate to have you on our side.
Oh, if you're talking about who Paimon thinks you're talking about, you better do the honors.
You called?
Gets Paimon every time.
Aren't all Adepti in the habit of materializing out of thin air like this?
Well, this is unexpected.
Huh? It's you.
Baiju of Boo Boo Pharmacy. I do believe I've had the pleasure before. The Lantern Rite, when we met briefly, I was unaware of your true identity. I must apologize for the discourtesy.
Huh? You two already know each other?
Our paths have crossed once before. I sense the presence of evil spirits. Is this why you called me? So someone has been concocting demonic poison. Too often, fervent desires drive mortals to abandon all regard for their own safety. It is lamentable. I now know what you seek. It is true that a god's remains are buried beneath the foundations of Jinxa village. A vile monster known as the Ch once wrought havoc over this land, before it was subdued by Rex Lapis. The land was finally cleansed of poison when Rex Lapis used statues in his likeness to seal the serpent's remains. Jinxa village was founded some time after that. The seal is still mostly intact. If the Ch is the source, then it must be some of its blood leaking from deep underground. However, its aura is faint and barely detectable. You will need to investigate further to identify the location of the leak. I do not like to intervene against mortals unless absolutely necessary. But when demonic forces are involved, things can spiral out of control. If that happens, be sure to call my name again. Nothing. I do not wish to sway decisions that are mortals to make, but immortality may not be the blessing that you imagine it to be.
I shall treasure your words of instruction, Master Adeptus.
Farewell.
What a strange Adeptus. Rather different from the way I remember them.
That's Shell for ya! And thanks to him, we finally got some concrete info to go off of.
If the god remains are leaking from underground, Jiangli must be paying a visit to a subterranean cave on her herb-gathering trips. If we can find the cave...
Master, there's a problem.
Gray? Did you run all the way from Boo Boo Pharmacy?
What happened? Don't panic. Just catch your breath and tell me everything.
It's Jiaoliang. He was fine one minute, and then he suddenly took a turn for the worse.
Already? How? Based on past experience, he should have been fine for the next 3 days at least.
It seems that my worst fears have been confirmed. Everyone, back to Boo Boo Pharmacy now!
Dad! What's wrong? Dad?
Don't be scared. Dr. Baishu will be back soon.
How is he doing?
Dr. Baishu, you're back! My dad was doing fine earlier, but then he suddenly started coughing up blood. Now he can't even get a full word out anymore.
When Gui left, he was still conscious. But now...
Gui, please take Jialiang to the back room and prepare for treatment.
Yes, of course.
Don't worry, Ayu. I will cure your father.
Baishu's not gonna use Changsheng's secret art again, is he? Is there really no other way to save Jialiang?
Oh, please don't worry. Dr. Baishu will find a way.
But... How are you feeling, Dad? Are you still hurting anywhere? You're not gonna suddenly collapse again, are you?
Much better, Ayu. I'm feeling much better. In fact, I can't explain it, but somehow I feel even better than usual. Wait, where's Dr. Baishu? I still haven't had a chance to thank him. Seems he moved me here before I came to.
Master said he needed to take a quick rest and asked me to bring you out of the treatment room. He hasn't emerged yet, so he must still be resting.
Oh, really? Well, he must be tired from treating me for 2 nights in a row. I don't know how I can begin to repay him for saving my life. I'll have to discuss it properly with Jiang Li once we find her. Speaking of which, has there been any word of her whereabouts yet?
No, the Adventurers Guild hasn't gotten back to me yet. I'll go check with them again in a bit.
I'll come with...
Don't forget what Master said. You're still not out of the woods yet, Jialiang. I strongly suggest that you stay and rest at Boo Boo Pharmacy for now. I can accompany IU to the Adventurers Guild.
I suppose you're right. I'll have to rely on you this time. Though, on the bright side, this means I can thank Dr. Baiju in person once he's finished resting.
Traveler, Baiju hasn't shown his face ever since he went in to treat Jialiang again. Do you think he... Huh? Hey, wait up!
Huh?
You're finally awake? That was far too risky, even with me here to help you balance your chi.
There was no time. I had no other choice. In any case, it was not completely without benefit to myself. I managed to learn something. Jiang Li's design is quite brilliant. She makes numerous innovations that I can learn from. Alas, if only there wasn't a catch.
So, how much longer do you think Baiju's gonna nap for?
They've been outside waiting for you the whole time while you were asleep. Shall we at least go and show our faces?
All right.
Surely he hasn't. There's no way he could have just...
Who's talking behind our backs again?
Ah! Baiju! Changsheng!
Of course. There's no need to be concerned. I merely had to transfer a rather large amount of life force on this occasion. But, with Changsheng's help, I will recover in time.
Jialiang seemed fine yesterday. Why did he need more life-saving treatment again so soon?
I made an error in my initial diagnosis. Jialiang is in fact suffering from more than one ailment, and as a result, his life force depleted at a greater rate than I had anticipated.
What? You mean, even if you got all the poison out of him, he'd still be sick?
Yes. But more pertinently, the poison in Jialiang's system is there precisely because it is being used to manage his underlying medical condition. Jialiang has a rare congenital heart condition, and ongoing treatment is essential to maintaining healthy functioning of his heart meridian. Left untreated, it puts the patient at risk of coughing up blood and fainting, and in the longer term, causes irreversible damage to the internal organs. Though it was created from god remains, this formula is not a poison in Jialiang's case. Rather, it's his medication.
Had he not taken it all these years, he likely would have died a long time ago.
Still, using poison to treat a disease is hardly a viable long-term solution. As time passed, and the poison accumulated in his system, it began to impact his cognition. Moreover, the longer he relied upon this medicine, the more resistant his body became to it. Jiang Li had to concoct ever greater quantities to ensure its continued efficacy, or he could have still perished at any moment.
That explains why Ayu said his dad has been getting worse, and why his mom went off to gather herbs.
God remains are extremely dangerous to be around, because humans have no natural defense against them. I shudder to think how many times Jiang Li has exposed herself to them. I fear that the situation is just as that Adeptus described. In an effort to save Jia Liang's life, Jiang Li has abandoned all regard for her own safety.
I never suspected that even Jiang Li would turn to the same path as so many others over the years. Perhaps this is the inevitable course of fate. To sacrifice one's own life to save others. To go beyond human means in order to do the impossible, whatever the cost may be.
Well, I think that it's too early to say with any certainty what fate has in mind. In any case, I have stabilized Jia Liang's condition for now, so our immediate priority should be to get ourselves back to Qingsa village and find out where Jiang Li is. Her regular exposure to God remains over such a long period will have been catastrophic for her health. And given that she's already been missing for several days, I am fearing the worst.
It's me, Traveler, Dr. Baiju.
It's Jialiang! Don't tell Paimon you overheard everything already.
Dr. Baiju, please let me come with you. You've already done so much for my family. I can no longer just sit here and watch while you put yourself at risk for Jiang Li's sake. After all, if it wasn't for me, she wouldn't have had to put herself in harm's way in the first place. I know I won't be of much help in battle, but at the very least, I can show you the way. I'm sure I'll be able to remember. I know there's a spot where she says goodbye to me every time she goes to gather her herbs. I'm sure I'll remember. I have to remember.
Be careful. If you get too agitated, your blood pressure and stress levels will rise, putting further pressure on your heart. For your own safety, you should stay here and rest.
No! We're out of time! We have to go now. Right now. Before I forget everything again.
This trip will be extremely dangerous, and there is a very real possibility that you will not return from it. Are you sure you're prepared for that?
I never expected to live this long in the first place. My death is already long overdue. So why should I fear it? There's only one thing I fear now, and that's that I'll forget her again before we manage to find her.
Very well. Then follow me.
Dr. Baiju, are you heading out again?
Yes. This could be a long one. Could you please prepare a dose of the usual formula? Please add an extra measure of mistgrass pollen and 1 dose each of the ingredients from the 3rd and 5th compartments of my medicine cabinet. I hope it works.
Dr. Baishu? Do you mean...
Hop to it now. And remember to be careful with the cauldron this time. You don't want to burn yourself again.
Okay. Everyone, please be careful.
That strange feeling is back. It's just like the day I went missing. It's as if something inside me is trying to guide me somewhere.
The Mother Lode's influence is growing stronger. But is it because we're getting closer to the source? Or because the leakage of Che blood is growing more severe? Jialiang, can you sense which direction the source is in?
I think it's... this way. Yes, I'm sure of it. I feel a dull ache in my heart. This must be the way. This place feels familiar. I think I've been here before.
There is an inauspicious presence here. Even I can sense it.
I think I remember this place.
Jialiang, are you okay? Maybe you should rest here while we continue the search.
No, I have to keep going. Jiangli is still waiting for me. Then let's hurry.
This place gives Paimon the creeps. Who knows what we're gonna find up ahead?
The digging marks here appear amateur and rather old. I suspect it is a thieves' tunnel.
A thieves' tunnel? Paimon has heard rumors about treasure around these parts before. Maybe it was the treasure hoarders that dug this tunnel.
Judging by the tools they left behind, it's certainly a possibility. But why did they abandon this place without even stopping to pack up their tools?
I remember now. She took me here once and told me that she'd found a way to save me in this cave. But she said that the method would cause me to, curses! Why can't I remember what she said?
Easy, Jialiang. Come on, let's keep going. A bitter pill to swallow. Quake!
Higher, higher, pants on fire!
Mind the side effects. A bitter pill to swallow.
As one with wind and cloud!
Here's the good!
This is order!
Whoa, there's a sensor here. Those treasure hoarders sure made themselves at home.
I believe this sensor was used to burn a monster-repelling incense.
A monster repelling incense? You sure? 'Cause we did run into that group of monsters just now.
The incense was burned several days ago. If I had to guess, the monsters we fought just now were enticed here by some entity deeper inside the cave. No doubt an encounter with the very same entity was what prompted the treasure hoarders to flee and abandon their designs on this cave. After them, Jiang Li was the next person to discover this place and what lies inside. But to her, it presented an opportunity to save Jia Liang's life, albeit as a last resort.
That's right. This sensor, it belongs to Jiang Li. Yes, this was the place. This is where I told Jiang Li to give me the poison.
Jialiang!
I'm fine. Let's keep going. I can feel it. She is right below us, waiting for me. I can feel it. We're getting close. We're almost there. It's right up ahead. The place where we made a pact together to...
Aha! We can keep going now.
From the looks of it, the energy released by this mechanism can not only clear barriers, but also be conducted by corresponding mechanisms. Perhaps it's something we can make use of.
Mora loves me. I make Mora, and it makes me happy. La 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 la.
Remember, health comes first.
The doctor will see you. Cross over.
Wind strategy.
Magic lamp.
Order guide you. Crumble. Fallen leaves, adorn my night.
Here's the gun.
Time to go.
Taking a turn for the better.
The doctor will see you.
A bitter pill to swallow. Life, death, and the world around us all follow a set of laws. But if you never test the limits, how can anyone know where the boundaries of these laws are? Oh, it's just some chronic problem I have flaring up again. Nothing to worry about.
Jiangli!
Look out! There's a monster next to her!
The god remains must have lured them here. Watch my back. Seems like an emergency.
The doctor will see you.
Magic slap! What's
As one with wind and cloud.
Higher, higher, hands on fire!
Mind the side effects. This is nothing. A bitter pill to swallow. Remember, health comes first.
Sweeten the deal!
This is order.
Quake!
There's some things Cora can't find.
Mind the side effects. Seems like an emergency. A bitter pill to swallow. This is nothing.
Fallen leaves, adorn my night, wind strike. I will have order.
Quake!
Dr. Baiju, how serious is it? Is she...
I can still feel a pulse, but her condition is quite grave. The god remains here are encroaching on her cognition, much as the poison in your system did to you. If we don't eliminate it soon, then even if we save her life, I fear that she may never wake up again.
Then, what are we waiting for? Let's destroy the remains right away!
It's not as simple as that. Don't you remember what Baiju said? The poison within Jialiang's body is inextricably linked to the god remains here. If the source is purged, the poison in his system will stop having any effect.
And the poison within Jialiang's body is keeping his heart condition under control. So, if it stops working... Oh no. Are you saying...
Indeed. If the god remains here are purged, then your life will come to an end.
I wondered when this day might come.
Wait! But we've all been working our butts off to save Jialiang's life! After all that, we can't just give up on him! Baiju, you're a great doctor! Surely you gotta know of some other way we can save him, right?
You could continue to take the poison, which would buy you some time. As for Jiang Li, maybe if we put our heads together, we can think of something?
It appears to me that she was striving to concoct your medicine for you, right up until the moment when she lost consciousness. Maybe it's her greatest wish that you will continue to take it and live.
Dr. Baiju, give it to me straight. How long does Jiang Li have?
The god remains have reached her internal organs. Under ordinary circumstances, I would give her less than 3 days. But if I were to treat her using a secret art...
But what would be the point of that? Dr. Baiju, I'm all too aware of the dangers of god remains. You are not the first to mention it to me. If I continue to sustain my own life using this wretched substance, not only would Jiang Li have to keep risking her life to make my medicine for me, but I would have to live with the looming threat of these remains breaking out and wreaking havoc not just upon me, but my entire family. I know for a fact that I should have died over a decade ago, The fact that I've been around to see how you grow up is already a great blessing from Rex Lapis. If my choice can bring Jiangli back, then even if I die...
Jialiang.
After cheating death for so long, it seems I've grown somewhat addicted to life. Traveler, Dr. Baiju, could I have another minute with my wife? I just want to have one final moment together. Just a moment, that's all.
Of course.
Thank you, everyone. And I'm sorry that I won't be able to repay your kindness in this life.
Jialiang. Baiju, Changsheng. Is there really nothing else you can do?
I am sure that over the years, Jiangli will have tried all the conventional methods known to humankind. As for less conventional methods, I have little expertise besides Changsheng's secret art.
Mortals are fated to grow old and pass on when their natural lifespan runs out. If it were so easy to combat the natural processes of aging and death, Jiangli would not have had to resort to unnatural methods.
What a crazy situation. Jiangli risked it all to save Jialiang's life. And now, Jialiang has to sacrifice himself to save Jiangli. What's the point of it all?
I've seen many final farewells in my time, but I can never get used to it.
In the human realm, all things must come to an end. Is it not a fitting end to die for a worthy cause? At least, that's what generations of masters before you have always believed.
The path they chose was indeed a heroic one. But when I think of those who would willingly sacrifice themselves for others, I cannot help but think that theirs are the lives least deserving of death.
When all this began, we agreed that once Ayu was old enough to help you gather herbs, it would be time for me to go. If you could only see him now. He took me all the way to Liyue Harbor to see the doctor. And he even got the Adventurers Guild to search for you. So, I know that you'll both be okay without me. I've said my goodbyes. My time has come. Do what you must.
As you wish.
It will eat away at both your cognition and your memories. In the end, you'll become little more than a shadow of your true self.
I'll take it. At the very least, it will allow me to stay with you and watch Ayu grow up.
Mom, something's really wrong with Dad.
Don't fret, Ayu. I will gather some medicinal herbs right away. I promise you, nothing will happen to our family.
Why would these memories come to mind now? The longer we live, the tighter we cling to what we have. Oh, how I would love to hear your voice one last time.
Mark a price, but percent, and then I offer a 20% discount. More for me and the customers. Dad, I brought some friends over. I'm cooking today. Dad? Dad!
Over here, Xiangling.
Oh, there he is! He's over at Ying R's place. Let's go say hi! Huh? Timaeus? What's wrong with him?
That scent. This is so embarrassing. A few days ago, he said he wanted to come and spend the festival with me, but he started to feel unwell as soon as he arrived last night, and now he's gone and passed out. I think maybe the journey took it out of him, or perhaps he caught a cold on the way. Anyway, I was about to take him to Boo Boo Pharmacy to see the doctor, so I asked Chef Mao to watch the store while I'm gone.
Wait, you weren't gonna carry him all that way by yourself, were you? Let us help.
I couldn't possibly ask that of you. If you're sure, I'm very grateful for the help.
Why don't I watch the store? As it happens, I know a thing or two about perfume.
I'm sorry, I don't believe I've had the pleasure.
Oh, this is Madame Lan Yen, a craftswoman from Chen Yu Vale. You can trust her.
Oh, a friend of yours then. Thank you, Madame Lan Yen. That would be a huge help.
Xiangling, I guess that means we're free to head back. Let's get cooking so the troops can feast on their triumphant return.
Great minds think alike, Dad. Go on, get Timaeus to Boo Boo Pharmacy. And don't forget to come eat when you're done.
Thank you all.
What do you mean by that? Oh no, did you get sick too? Oh no! Sorry to hear that. That sounds really serious. None of them could figure out what it was? That seems strange. Xingqiu, this must be so hard for you.
Feeling any better? It's fit as a fiddle, dear. As in the instrument, not the finger twitching.
It's nothing serious. Probably just exhaustion from the long journey. Then not resting properly afterwards.
It's all my fault.
I'm prescribing a nutritious soup to be taken every night before bed. Here's the recipe. That should sort him out. But if his symptoms persist, make sure to come and see me again.
Thank you, Dr. Baizhu.
Looks like Timaeus is gonna be alright. That's a relief. Ying-ar, you should probably get this guy back right away. Baizhu says he needs to rest.
Agreed. Plus, I shouldn't keep Madame Lanyan waiting too long. Drop by later when you've got a second, so I can thank you both properly.
Ah, Master Xingqiu. I won't beat around the bush. The situation is looking a little more complicated than I'd initially thought. It would appear so, although it's debatable whether it is an illness per se. The truth is, they are both aging at an accelerated rate. Yes, significantly faster than the average person. But so far, I have not managed to determine the cause.
Cutting years off their lives? What a turn of phrase! That sounds horrible!
There are a few other remedies I can try, even if it's just trial and error at this point. This morning I sent Chi-Chi to Mount Qingsa to look for a certain herb. There's still a chance we might turn things around if we're lucky. Oh, and speaking of Qingsa, has his lordship been there recently, Master Xingqiu? And then the patient from Mondstadt, who I just saw, tells me he stopped off in Qingsa village during his journey. I can't help but wonder if there's some connection.
Wait, so Tao Du's remains? That's what's causing this mystery illness?
Not to steal anyone's thunder, but while I do suspect a connection with Qingsa village, I highly doubt that god remains are the cause.
Good point. Then what could be the true cause?
Master Xingqiu, I will head to Qingsa village to investigate further after Chi-Chi returns. Hopefully, I will have more answers after that.
Yeah, we're pros at gathering stuff. Just tell us where to go and we'll track down those herbs, no problem.
I am most grateful for the offer. I'll be sure to let you know if I need your assistance. Merely doing my duty. Don't worry about me. I'm keenly aware of my limits.
fine now. We get that you don't want us to worry, but there's no need to downplay it, alright? We should be supporting you here, not the other way around. Hey! Paimon's always been smart. Even though Baizhu ruled out God Remains as the cause, Paimon still wants to get to the bottom of this Tao Do business. Oh, it's a shame Kuching had to disappear before she could tell us more. True. Then let's head back and ask her. Come on, Xiangling's waiting on us too.